We're going to act as if women can't make their own dating decisions at 23 years old? Is this real? That is essentially what Monica Lewinsky has been saying. She was a victim of the power structure. And this is look, relationships are strange. The way we interact with each other is weird. But power is part of the package. It is part of the package when you like someone. Some random computer programmer meets somebody at a bar. They have a nice little interaction. Things are going okay, but not that great. The person seems smart. She seems okay. Halfway through the conversation, he discovers she's a VP at Google. Think that helps or hurts his impression of her? It helps, right? It does. It's not because he wants a job from her. It's not because he wants to be able to scam her bank account and maybe get a couple of free trips. I mean, some people do these things. But the point is, your brain does an internal computation, right? You meet someone, they seem accomplished, they seem like they have things together. When you see that they've accomplished great things to you, it's going to elevate them in a relationship sense. That's completely natural. That's different than what we're talking about here. It's not because he wants access to her ATM card. That's not the way it is. Bill committed a lot of offenses, but having power, which made Monica more interested in him, isn't one of them. She's not a victim because he had a good job. She made that choice because she was interested in him, and he made that choice because he was interested in everybody. There are tiers here. Harvey Weinstein, top tier, right? The worst. We know what he's done. Horrible, horrible things. Actual rape, right? He's at the top of that tier. A few levels down, go down and go down. You've got men who constantly are making sexual comments and inappropriate. You go down, down, down. From there, you get to like a Glenn Thrush, a reporter who you might know, Politico, DC reporter. He's a very accomplished reporter. And his kind of thing he was accused of in the Me Too movement was he was hitting on younger coworkers when they were drunk at parties. He'd hit on them. He wouldn't force himself on them. He maybe asked a couple too many times. I don't know. But the idea was more not that he did anything inappropriate in the interaction. It was just that his interaction with her was inappropriate in and of itself. An older, more accomplished employee should never date or approach in that manner a younger employee with less experience, because that might make the younger employee feel as if that person is threatening their livelihood in the future. But below that tier, below the Glenn Thrush tier, is the Monica Lewinsky tier. She didn't feel pressured into it. She was excited to be part of it. She was excited by it. She bragged to others about it famously in audio tapes. And she now claims that she couldn't see that Clinton was using the power dynamic to manipulate her, and therefore she isn't fully responsible for her decision, I guess. I don't know how he's supposed to read her mind. And the truth is, though, a 23-year-old woman has to be able to make her own choices about her own sex life. I thought the left was pro-choice. Wasn't that a thing at the time? If you want to try to stop this behavior, we can make a new rule that says you can't hook up with anyone unless they make within $50,000 of you. Is that a rule that you want? If you think that rule sounds ridiculous, then what she's claiming is ridiculous. Are we supposed to have only people who are assistant managers can only date other assistant managers? You want that rule? And we can all say, I mean, look, Clinton did a million bad things here, and including real crimes, allegedly. And he was married. He had a loyalty to somebody else. That's all on him. But for her to act as if she's a victim in the Me Too movement, she could be a supporter of the Me Too movement. She can wave the flags. She can go to the parades. But is she a victim of the Me Too movement? Not every office hookup story is a Me Too moment. Sometimes there's just a boring old affair. And that's it. Outside of the presidency being involved and legal testimony coming into play, that's all this was. I have a sense of, there's a soft spot in my heart here for Monica Lewinsky, and that I think she went through real hell and probably paid a larger price reputationally for her mistake than it was proportional. And Bill Clinton, really didn't pay much of anything until very recently. But that doesn't make her a victim. at least of Me Too. It might make her a victim of, John Ronson, his book, So You've Been Publicly Shamed. I think she's a victim maybe of that. But this is a different thing, and we shouldn't confuse them.